The message came at exactly 8:14 p.m. Happy anniversary, the day we first met. I stared at the screen. And then back at my husband. Because at that exact moment, he was kissing another woman.
Before we begin this intriguing story, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and like this video, so you don't miss more powerful and emotional life stories like this one. Enjoy the story.
My name is Victoria. I'm 34 years old. And until that night, I thought I understood my marriage. Daniel and I weren't the type to celebrate every holiday. But one date, we never missed it. The day we met. 7 years ago. A random cafe. A spilled coffee. A conversation that lasted 4 hours. It became our day. Not flashy. Not public. Just ours. Every year, we did something simple. Dinner. A walk. A quiet reminder of how everything started. So when he told me he'd be working late that day, it felt wrong. Not suspicious at first. Just disappointing. You'll understand, he said. It's important. Important. More important than the one day we never skipped. I smiled anyway. Said it was fine. But something stayed with me. That same feeling. That had been building for weeks. Small changes. Late nights. His phone always face down. And those perfectly timed answers. Too perfect. That night, I couldn't sit still. The house felt empty. Too quiet. So I grabbed my keys. No plan. No destination. Just movement. And somehow, I ended up near his office. I parked across the street. Sat there. Watching. Telling myself I was being ridiculous. That I should leave. That I should trust him. Then, I saw him. Walking out. But not alone. She was next to him. Close. Too close. They were laughing. Relaxed. Comfortable. Like this wasn't new. Like this wasn't the first time. I felt my stomach drop. But I still told myself. Maybe it's a colleague. Maybe I'm overthinking. Maybe. Then he reached for her hand. Not accidental. Not awkward. Natural. Familiar. Like it belonged there. And everything inside me went quiet. No panic. No tears. Just clarity. I watched them walk down the street together. Slowly. Until they stopped. Right under a streetlight. And then, he leaned in. And kissed her. Not quickly. Not guiltily. But like he meant it. Like it mattered. At that exact moment, my phone buzzed. I looked down. His name on the screen. A message. Happy anniversary, the day we first met. I stared at it. Then back at him. Still standing there. Still close to her. Still smiling. And that's when I realized something. This wasn't a mistake. This wasn't confusion. This was a double life. And I had just seen both sides of it. At the same time. I didn't cry. That's the first thing I remember. Not in the car. Not when I drove away. Not even when I got home. Because what I felt wasn't pain. Not yet. It was something colder. Sharper. Focus. I replayed the scene in my head. Every detail. The way he held her hand. The way she leaned into him. The way it all looked. Familiar. Like they'd done it before. Many times. And that's when a thought hit me. Not emotional. Not dramatic. Practical. If this isn't new, then it leaves traces. So instead of calling him, instead of confronting him, I waited. At 10:32 p.m., the door opened. Daniel walked in like nothing had happened. Calm. Relaxed. Almost cheerful. "Hey," he said. "Sorry, that meeting went longer than expected." I looked at him. Really looked. And for the first time in years, I didn't see my husband. I saw a man I didn't know. "How was it?" I asked. My voice was steady. Too steady. "Exhausting," he sighed. "Clients, numbers, you know how it is." He smiled. That same smile. The one I used to trust. "Did you do anything tonight?" he asked. There it was. The question. Casual. Harmless. Calculated. "No," I said. "Just stayed home." Lie. My first one. He nodded. "Good. We'll celebrate this weekend, okay?" Celebrate. The word almost made me laugh. "Of course," I said. And just like that, we both pretended. But the difference was, he didn't know I had stopped believing. That night, I didn't sleep. I watched. Listened. Waited. At 2:17 a.m. His phone lit up. A message. He didn't wake up. But I did. Slowly. Carefully. I reached for his phone. For a second, my hand froze. 7 years. Trust. Routine. And now this. But then I remembered the streetlight. The kiss. The message. And I unlocked it. No password. Of course. He never changed it. Because he never thought I would check. The messages were open. Recent. Her name at the top. Sophie. My chest tightened. I opened the chat. Scrolled. And the deeper I went, the worse it got. This wasn't recent. This wasn't weeks. This was months. Photos. Plans. Jokes. Memories. A whole relationship. Running parallel to mine. But then, something didn't make sense. One message. Sent earlier that evening. From her. Does she still not remember? I frowned. Scrolled up. Another message. I hate lying to her like this. My heart started beating faster. Not from heartbreak. From confusion. Lying, to me? About what? I kept reading. Hands shaking now. And then I saw his reply. We agreed this is the only way. She can't know the truth yet. The air left my lungs. Truth? What truth? I scrolled faster. Ignoring everything else. Looking for something. Anything. That made sense. Then I found it. A photo. Sent just a few days ago. 3 people in it. Daniel. That woman. Anne. Me. But I didn't remember it. I was smiling. Standing between them. Like we knew each other. Like we were close. Like. This wasn't the first time. My hands went cold. I looked at the date. 2 months ago. I tried to remember. Anything. That place. That moment. Her. Nothing. Just emptiness. Like that part of my life didn't exist. And that's when I saw the last message. The one that changed everything. If her memory comes back, everything falls apart. I froze. Completely. My heart pounding. My mind racing. Memory? Comes back? I slowly looked at Daniel. sleeping next to me. Peaceful. Calm. Like nothing was wrong. But everything was. Because now I understood one thing. This wasn't just betrayal. This wasn't just cheating. This was something much bigger. Something planned. Something hidden. And somehow, I was at the center of it. I didn't sleep at all. I just lay there, staring at the ceiling, listening to his breathing. Slow. Calm. Normal. Like he wasn't hiding anything. Like my entire world hadn't just cracked open. By morning, I had made a decision. I wasn't going to confront him. Not yet. Because whatever this was, it was bigger than a lie. And I needed the truth. All of it. Dinner tonight? I asked casually over coffee. Daniel looked up. Smiled. Of course. Invite Sophie, I added. Just like that. Simple. Light. Like it meant nothing. For a split second. He froze. Barely noticeable. But I saw it. Why? He asked carefully. I shrugged. You've been talking about her for months. I figured it's time I meet your colleague. He studied my face. Searching. Measuring. Trying to understand what I knew. I gave him nothing. Just a small smile. After a moment, he nodded. Okay. That evening, I prepared everything. Table set. Lights soft. Wine open. Perfect. Too perfect. Because inside, I was anything but calm. At exactly 7:12 p.m. The doorbell rang. Daniel opened it. And she walked in. Sophie. Up close. She was even more familiar. Not just her face. Her presence. The way she looked around the apartment. Like she'd been there before. Like she knew where things were. My chest tightened. Hi, she said softly. Her eyes met mine. And something passed between us. Recognition. But not the kind you get from meeting someone new. The kind you get when something is missing. Like trying to remember a dream that won't come back. Hi, I said. And for a moment, we just stood there. Studying each other. Dinner started, normally. Small talk. Work. Weather. Pointless things. Daniel was tense. Too controlled. Watching every word. Every reaction. But Sophie was different. She kept looking at me. Like she wanted to say something. But couldn't. Halfway through dinner, I decided to stop pretending. So, I said calmly. How do we know each other? Silence. Heavy. Immediate. Daniel's fork stopped midair. Sophie's hand tightened around her glass. We don't, Daniel said quickly. Too quickly. I didn't look at him. I kept my eyes on her. Then why do I have a photo of us together? I asked. That did it. The room changed instantly. Daniel exhaled sharply. Sophie closed her eyes for a second. Like she knew this moment would come. Just not like this. You checked my phone, he said. Not angry. Just resigned. Yes, I replied. No apology. No hesitation. Then you know enough, he said. No, I said quietly. I don't know anything. I leaned forward slightly. Start talking. Silence stretched. Long. Uncomfortable. Then Sophie spoke. Not to him. To me. You were in an accident, she said softly. My heart skipped. What? 2 months ago, she continued. You were hit by a car. The room spun slightly. That's not true. But even as I said it, something felt off. Like my mind was rejecting it too quickly. Check your shoulder, Daniel said quietly. I froze. Slowly. I reached up. Pulled my sleeve down slightly. And there it was. A scar. Faded. But real. My breath caught. How do I not remember that? Because you lost part of your memory, Sophie said. Not everything. Just certain pieces. My chest tightened. Like what? Silence. Then Daniel answered. Like her. He looked at Sophie. Then back at me. You forgot her completely. I stared at them. Confused. Shaking. Why would I forget her? Sophie's eyes filled with something. Pain. Guilt. Truth. Because, she said quietly, I'm not just his colleague. My heart started racing again. Faster. Louder. What are you talking about? She swallowed. Then said the words that broke everything. I'm your sister. Silence. Absolute. Deafening. I laughed. Not because it was funny. Because it was impossible. No, I said. That's not. It is, Daniel cut in. You just don't remember. My mind was spinning now. Nothing was stable. Nothing made sense. If she's my sister, I whispered. Then why were you kissing her? That question hung in the air. Sharp. Unavoidable. Daniel closed his eyes briefly. Sophie looked down. And that's when I knew. The answer was worse than anything I imagined. The silence after my question was unbearable. If she's my sister, then why were you kissing her? Neither of them answered immediately. And that delay, that hesitation, told me everything I didn't want to know. My chest tightened. Say it, I whispered. Daniel exhaled slowly. Like a man who had been holding this in for too long. It wasn't what you think, he said. I almost laughed. Then explain it. But it wasn't him who spoke. It was her. Sophie. Or my sister. We didn't plan for you to find out like this, she said quietly. My hands clenched. Find out what? She looked up at me. Eyes full of something. Truth. Before the accident, she said slowly. You already knew about me. I froze. What? You found me 2 months ago, she continued. You tracked me down. My heart started racing again. That's not possible. It is, Daniel said. You spent weeks looking for her. Private investigators. Records. Old documents. Fragments. Tiny, broken fragments. Started flickering somewhere deep in my mind. Nothing clear. Just feelings. Restlessness. Obsession. Why? I whispered. Because your parents lied to you your whole life, Sophie said. You weren't an only child. The room felt smaller. Harder to breathe. They gave me up, she added. Silence. They kept you. And they erased me. My stomach dropped. No. Yes, she said. And when you found out, you didn't just want answers. She paused. And that pause felt dangerous. You wanted revenge. My heart stopped. What? You confronted them, Daniel said quietly. There was a fight. A bad one. Images. Blurry. Distorted. Voices. Shouting. A door slamming. Then. Nothing. What happened after that? I asked. My voice barely there. Sophie looked at Daniel. Then back at me. You came to see me, she said. You were angry. Confused. Hurt. Her voice trembled slightly. But also, determined. I couldn't move. Couldn't think. You said you were going to expose everything, she continued. The lies. The adoption. The truth about our family. My chest tightened. And? Silence. Daniel stepped in. That same night, you got into the accident. The room spun. That's why, he continued. You lost those memories. Everything connected. Too perfectly. Too painfully. I looked at Sophie. Then at him. And the two of you? I asked. My voice sharper now. Why the lies? Why the secret messages? Why the... I couldn't even finish. The image of them kissing burned in my mind. Sophie closed her eyes. Then said it. We were trying to protect you. I shook my head. No. Don't do that. Don't twist this into something noble. It's the truth, Daniel said firmly. From what? I snapped. From your own decisions. That hit. Hard. What does that mean? He stepped closer. After the accident, you were different. Silence. You didn't remember her, he nodded towards Sophie. You didn't remember the fight. You didn't remember what you were about to do. And what was I about to do? I demanded. Sophie's voice was barely a whisper. Destroy everything. My breath caught. You had evidence, she said. Documents. Records. Things that could ruin your parents. My chest tightened again. And you didn't care who got hurt, Daniel added. The words landed. Like stones. You were angry. And you wanted them to pay. I looked at my hands. At the table. Anywhere but them. After the accident, Sophie continued. We had a choice. Silence. Tell you everything, and risk you becoming that person again. She paused. Or keep it from you, and let you live a normal life. I looked up slowly. And you chose to lie. Yes, she said. No hesitation. No excuse. Just truth. And the kiss? I asked. My voice cold now. Controlled. Daniel answered this time. It was a mistake. I held his gaze. Or was it easier, I said quietly. To blur the lines, so you wouldn't have to explain anything? Silence. Neither of them denied it. And that told me enough. I stood up slowly. My chair scraped loudly against the floor. I don't know who I was, I said. My voice steady now. But I know who I am right now. I looked at Daniel. Then at Sophie. And I don't want to live in a story built on lies. Sophie's eyes filled with tears. Please. No, I said gently. Not angry. Not loud. Just, done. You took my choice away. Silence. That's not protection. I grabbed my coat. My keys. And walked to the door. Daniel didn't stop me. Sophie didn't move. And that was the clearest answer of all. Outside, the air was cold. Sharp. Real. For the first time since all of this started, I felt something simple. Clarity. I didn't remember my past. Maybe it was messy. Maybe it was dangerous. Maybe I wasn't proud of it. But one thing was certain. I deserved the truth. Not pieces of it. Not edited versions. All of it. And if I had to rebuild my life from scratch again, so be it. Because this time, it would be mine. Sometimes the truth is hidden not to protect you, but to control what you become. And even if your past is broken, painful, or incomplete, you still deserve to face it. Because a life built on lies is not a life at all.